This is Hepodix and hope you enjoy. LeBlanc is one of those class cannons that can be really scary in earlier stages of the game. Also due to her great mobility and viability to literally 3-shot players, makes her one scary assassin. However, the problem with LeBlanc is that she falls off late game sooner or later as her teamfight potential isn't that good. Talon is one of those champions that has been forgotten in terms of unpopularity. However, that doesn't change the fact that his abilities work as a combo, makes him one bursty assassin. Talon's true power lies within the third ability, Cutthroat, which silences the enemy long enough for you to kill him down in a matter of seconds. Evelynn is one sneaky champion when it comes to assassination. Evelynn's passive makes her to go invisibility while not in combat, which is just amazing, and therefore the ganks and the initiation she can offer can be really scary. Akali is one of those champions I'd really hope to see people play more, as her passive and abilities altogether are just amazing. Her burst overall and flexibility to initiate with shadow darts up to 3 times are the main reason she really is an assassin in the end. Rengar is one of those champions which can be really confusing at first sight, but once you get the grip on the mechanics he can offer, it is just awesome kit altogether. But what makes him an assassin is his ultimate, Thrill of the Hunt, which can bring out crazy ass bursts due to the Ferocity regeneration. Kassadin is a true bully, an annoyance whenever you try to catch this Void Walker. His abilities have good design for middle lane, since you can silence the enemy whenever you feel like it, and the passive helps out to decrease the magic damage he's taking there. But what makes Kassadin the true assassin is his ultimate, Rift Walk, which runs on very low cooldown, and therefore makes him one mobile bastard. Even despite the fact that Kha'Zix has gotten some nerfs in the past, he is still a great champion and assassin. The ability to jump back and forth with the Evolved Leap and the stealth mechanism the ultimate can offer makes him still a very scary assassin today. As I have already mentioned how unresistible Katarina's boobs are and how overpowered her passive are, what can I add more when this lady pops out in my videos every now and then? The reason, however, I have to include Katarina here is how well she can execute large AoE bursts in a matter of seconds and then just escape away with the shampoo like nothing happened. Quickly bursting down someone is definitely something that assassins should be capable of, and Katarina managed to do the job very well. Fizz is one of those champions I could never forget in terms of assassination. His abilities have excellent potential to burst down enemy champion from 100 to 0, not to forget his third ability, Playful/Trickster, which is one of the best abilities in the game in terms of avoiding damage. Fizz's passive Nimblefire lets him walk through minions, and he also takes less damage from basic attacks, which can be also helpful at certain times. Zed is a champion that I used to overlook when he first came out, but once I played and learned how to play this Shredder of Doom, I really changed my opinion around. Zed's mechanics are just so much fun, I cannot get enough of him, but what really makes him the true assassin is the burst he can offer. Even though Zed's third ability doesn't do damage by itself, his other abilities and even the passive supports and guarantees the fact that once you initiate with Zed, there's nothing but corpses afterwards. So in a nutshell, Zed is a very well designed champion altogether and a wonderful assassin to play with. Hello summoners, and welcome to my top 10 AD carry champions video. This time we are going to take a look at the top 10 AD carries, which has the biggest impact in the bottom lane. Please remember that these are my opinions and it is okay to have your own. So without further talking, my name is Apodix and hope you enjoy. Ashe is without a doubt one of the classic AD carries that has carried past over 3 years in course of the game. While Ashe might not have the strongest laning phase, she is still a very moderate CC game breaker and has a good late game potential as well. Draven can be really scary when it comes to dealing high physical damage. His first ability, Spinning Axe, makes a really deadly pressure around in the laning phase, and he can do really decisive plays and also feels the needs for a team. Lady Luck is smiling. With that said, Miss Fortune is really a moderate AD caster and scales later on well with her spells. Her ultimate, Bullet Time, can pull out really safe and destructive plays from a safe distance, which is a great ability to have versus high crowd control teams. Graves being also one hell of a AD caster, he also has his own tricks in his sleeve that makes him more or less a unique AD carry. The ability to quickly charge and dodge things, burst down someone fast with bullets, and even get a creep of their vision is what makes Graves a fun and murderous burst cannon. While many AD carries have some AoE potential in their kit, Vayne has none however. Still, despite that, her abilities focus on bringing one person from 100 to 0 in a matter of seconds. The amount of damage that Silver Bolts mixed with Tumble and her ultimate Final Hour does is just insane and gets even more terrifying as later the game goes. In a nutshell, just amazing single target focus. Tristana is the AD carry who really looks towards into the late game. Her passive, Draw a Bead, makes him a scary poke in the late game, and her rocket jump ability lets Tristana position herself in a safe spot. That combined with insane attack speed steroid, healing reduced mechanics, and knockback burst, it just works together and therefore makes Tristana a really good late game AD carry. Corki is the AD carry that has the most memories towards myself. Only the Ice Tobukkan skin itself just brings me the good memories back. While he might not be the most popular AD carry available, he becomes really deadly when it comes to shredding armor with Gatling gun, and his poke is very good as well. That being said, the poking shred machine can also fly through obstacles with Valkyrie, which just combines well with the rest of his kit. A shitty yourself spank, nugget! The reason why Caitlyn is so popular nowadays is because her addictive playstyle. First of all, Caitlyn is known for her superior base auto attack range. Unlike Tristana, who gains range per level, Caitlyn has the standard range over the course of the game, and therefore can be more annoyance in the laning phase when it comes to poking, busting out junglers with traps, or finishing people with a lock-on shot. Good AD carry, nevertheless. Ezreal has been a champion that has been shined in the players' hands more or less in the past couple years, and his popularity has been pretty good as well, and the reason for that is his playstyle. Ezreal's mechanics are so much fun when it's all about skill-shotting players to death. And what makes him even more flexible is that when you smart cast his abilities, you can execute full combos a lot faster that way. As I recently noticed the potential Varus has as an AD carry, I really got excited from that moment. Varus' abilities just make your laning phase an ease, and and trades off really well against others. Similar to Vayne's Silver Bolts, Varus Blighted Quiver just burns enemies' HP massively, and his ultimate Chain of Corruption is great CC spell in both teamfights and laning phase. Shortly said, strongly recommend and fun AD carry to play overall. Alright, so that's about it for this top 10, hope you enjoyed. If so, please share, like and let me know what you think in the comments below. Also, special thanks for the tracks and help I got in the custom game skirmishes. If you haven't yet, please subscribe for my YouTube channel for weekly League of Legends and other gaming videos to come. My name is Apodix and have a nice day.
More information about the newest champion to League of Legends, Azir, the Emperor of the Sands. Today, we're going to go over all of the statistics for his abilities as well as his base stats, so let's go ahead and get right into it. On the screen, I'm going to put up an image of all of his base statistics, and there will be a link to the description from where I got this information for you guys to go check out as well. These are the first stats coming from the PvE servers, and although things can definitely change before the full release, they're going to work some things out, these are a pretty good starting point to realize how this champ is going to work. The base stats up on the screen, as you can see, damage is 43, health 390, mana 280, movement speed 300. He starts out with some armor and more magic resist, and then just his range. He's got a pretty decent range, is something that I noticed from this. Moving down the list here, we're going to start with his abilities. His passive, Shimura's Legacy. Azir gains 2% attack speed for every 1% cool reduction he has. So just like Nasus, if you're farming his Q, you're going to want to stack up on cool CDR items to help boost up his attack speed. The Sun Disk. This was something that I covered in the previous video, but didn't know the specifics on so far, so now that this information is in, it's kind of nice to know. Once the Sun Disk goes down after destroying one of the enemy turrets, it will last for 1 minute. This ability is something that I'm really interested to see how well it can play in the middle of team fights and being able to dive turrets. And then there is a 3-minute cooldown on the Sun Disk. Going on to his Q, Conquering Sands. This little breakdown here is just so you guys can see how it scales with his AP. It's going to be plus 0.6 right now. Magic damage. It also, the slow you can see is 20% for 1 second. Mana cost is straight across the board right now. 800 range on his Q. This is going to be ridiculous. So much poke. And then a scaling from 10 to 6 on his cooldown as you level up. Going into his W. Right now, as it stands, the soldiers all last for 9 seconds no matter what level you're at. And then you can see that there is a very wide span of damage dealt as you level. And that all scales off your AP, which is plus 0.7. The mana cost is level right now across the board. I would expect for that to change. His range, a lot shorter than his Q, but still pretty nice for a mid lane mage, 450. And then the cooldown is 1.5 seconds all the way across. His E. Azir dashes to one of his sand soldiers, damaging enemies, and hits for between 60 and 180 plus 0.4 AP. This, to me, when I first saw it, I was like, man, that seems like it's going to be pretty weak, but the base damage off of that plus stacking AP is going to be ridiculous. The thing that makes this so I don't believe he's going to be incredibly overpowered, and he may not even be that good to be running around with Yasuo, is the knockup only lasts for half a second. It's not going to scale as of right now, which is probably a good thing. The other thing that I was wondering on the first video about this was how much his shield, which will proc if you hit someone, is going to absorb. And this is a pretty hefty amount, between 60 and 220 base, plus 15% of your total bonus health. So this could end up being huge. And then the range on it is 1100. That dash knockup, the initiate into his ultimate, into planning his Q, getting away, is huge. Plus the cooldown reduction that's based, you guys can see it on the screen there. I'm really excited to play this damn champion. Going on to his last ability, his ultimate, Emperor's Divide. This was something I was also curious about to see how well it was going to scale with his AP, and we finally have the answer. Dealing 150 to 300 base AP plus 0.5 of the what you have built into you. The soldiers remain in a wall, and this scales from 5 to 7 seconds. In the initial video and what I will put on the screen, it doesn't look like they last that long, but here it does. The other thing that we did learn is that Azir and allies can pass through that wall freely and gain a 20% movement speed for 1 second. This is huge. I think this ultimate, although it has an incredibly short range, is going to be very, very useful, and it's going to be an amazing engage. I was kind of thinking it's like a Flash Tibbers, since it stuns and knocks back. It doesn't stun, excuse me, it knocks back, but that's kind of how I would envision playing it. Flash Emperors dividing instead of Flash Tibbers. And so everything that I'm finding out about this champ is fantastic, and I'm excited to play him. Guys, he's on PvE right now. You can go and check him out if you're on that kind of thing. More information will come out, and I will try to bring that to you guys, but I want to thank each and every one of you who checked out the previous video. The link for that will be at the end of this video.